them saved, and the last part of Israel's restoration is the restoration to the apostolic calling. But you see, the church, the true Christians, are also a part of Israel, and because I believe we're living in such a time close to the return of the Lord, that's why the Lord spoke to me. He said, now it's time to speak to the church about the restoration of the church back to the Hebraic roots.
Back to the roots. Of course.
Now, I know one or two people there, but I don't know the rest of you, and I don't know where you're at with all of that. But what I want to do is I was in South Africa, like just after the Lord had said all this change gear stuff, and I knew something was going on. And I was in South Africa, and I was sitting in the meeting there, wondering what I was going to speak about. So I said, Lord, what do you want me to speak about tonight? And I remembered that there was a South African guy called Rodney Howard Brown. Some people like him, some don't, but he used to call himself God's bartender, right? Because he thought he was pouring out the Holy Spirit to people. So that was in my mind, but I heard the Holy Spirit say, I want you to be my optician. and I said, what do you mean by that, Father? And he says, I want you to change the way the church sees. Because you see, as the Jewish leadership declined and the Greeks and the Romans took over, they only had the Hebrew Scriptures, and the Hebrew Scriptures are very are written in rabbinic style. And you know, Paul warned the people back in those days. He said, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. And he didn't say who might come in. He said they will come in. So he saw it coming, of course. Now, to be a little bit gracious, I can understand why it was so easy for the devil to deceive the people who we call the church fathers. They're imposters, actually. Because the real church fathers are the Jewish disciples and the Jewish apostles.
Amen.
But the real church fathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Amen.
Because the true church, as I said earlier, the true church is Israel.
Amen.
And Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're the foundation of the olive tree. And so these other fellas take over, and most of them were previously disciples of Plato and Socrates and Aristotle, the Greek philosophers. So they had Greek glasses on, and here they are, without a New Testament, reading the Hebrew Scriptures with Greek glasses. It doesn't work. So to be a little bit gracious, I can understand why it was so easy for the devil to deceive these people into, and what they really did is, as I said earlier, God paid a very high price for the non-Jews to be grafted into the olive tree. But through what happened here, it became very easy for Satan. What happened was he ungrafted the church out of the Hebraic roots and put it back into Hellenistic or Greek roots. And I hope this doesn't offend people. And I say it as a joke, but what happened was they got ungrafted from the olive tree. They got grafted back into the Christmas tree. Now, again, I'm not saying this to be critical. I'm saying this as an evangelist with a concern for people's souls.
Amen.
If you're not grafted into the olive tree, going back down to the deep Hebraic roots, what kingdom are you really in? Which God are you really worshipping and serving? And I think there's this theology that's been rampant in the Western church now for almost 2,000 years called replacement theology. Well, see, if you really, some of these people, they really believe that their God has replaced Israel. But see, my God, the God in this book, he says to Paul asked the question, I say then, has God forsaken his people? Some Bibles say certainly not, other Bibles say God forbid, other Bibles say may it never be. But if these people really believe that their God has finished with Israel, it's a different God. The Muslims, they have a Jesus, they have a Isa, but it's not because it says in the mosque in Jerusalem, there's only one God, Allah is his name, and he has no sons. It's a different God.
Yeah, amen.
Very sad.
And there's 25% of the world are trapped in that lie and that deception. And most of the rest of the world aren't. They're just as bad. They're just as lost because they're not grafted into the olive tree. They're not